Welcome to the Embrace Strength podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Crocker. I am an experienced trainer and active life professional. I work with people who are struggling with nagging pain to get back to the activities they love without fear of re-injury. This podcast is here to educate and provide value to you on all things health, fitness, staying active, and personal development. Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to the pod. So today's episode is all about you avoiding this mistake in your workouts. And I'm just laughing because it's like way more simple than you might expect. It's not fancy, but this is so important. And I see this quite a lot. But if a movement looks right, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it right if you're not accessing the right muscles, if you're not feeling it where you're supposed to, even if it looks right, like something needs to change. And I think that this is something that can commonly happen really in the coaching space. You know, if you're somebody out there who is just somebody who is active and works out, or if you are a coach, this is even more important for you to hear. But yeah, I just see this happen a lot. Like I have somebody do a movement and I noticed it in myself too. Like I'm doing a movement and I'm like, okay, am I feeling this in the right muscles? No, I'm not. What do I need to shift? Or if I am watching a client's video back or I'm watching them move in a session, and even if the movement looks right, looks correct, looks good, I'm still asking them, okay, where are you feeling this? I want the answer to be like where I actually want them to feel it. I know it sounds so simple, but if you have somebody doing a deadlift and they are feeling this in their back and in their quads, we have a problem, right? So here is something that you can do to make sure that you don't make this mistake. And if you are somebody listening to this, you strength train, you're active, you're not a coach, what this is going to come down to is you doing a little bit of research on where you were supposed to feel certain exercises when you're doing them, right? Where are you supposed to feel it in your muscles, and start to develop a little bit more self-awareness around your mind-muscle connection. This is a skill. And if you are newer to strength training, newer to working out, this is something that you're going to have to develop. It takes a lot of intention. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. And it's not something that's going to feel natural at first, but over time, you're going to develop a lot more self-awareness and just do this a little bit more naturally. But let's say if you're doing a leg day, depending on what movements you are doing, okay, where am I supposed to feel this exercise? And when you're doing it, actually pay attention. A lot of times people can make the mistake of just going through the motions and getting through an exercise, getting through your reps, and then being like, oh wait, I don't even know where I felt that. So developing some self-awareness around where am I actually feeling this when I'm doing this movement, okay? That is going to be a really great start into developing this skill and noticing this type of thing, okay? And if you are somebody who has a coach, you can also ask them if you're not sure, hey, where am I supposed to feel this? I was feeling it in XYZ. Is that right? And utilize them if you have that as a resource. And then if you are somebody who coaches people, one of the best things that you can do is ask clients, where did you feel this exercise? As you guys know, I mentor some coaches, and one of the questions I always ask them when they ask for help with troubleshooting with the client, if it's on a certain movement, one of the first things I ask is well, where did the client feel this? That's just such valuable information. So if you're not already doing this, in your coaching practice, then you should start. And like, don't fall into the trap of thinking that just because an exercise looks right, like means that they're using the right muscles, because that's not always the case. So even if an exercise looks right, oh, that looks great. Where did you feel this? Did you notice? Did you pay attention? And just seeing what they say. And if they are somebody who like, oh, I wasn't really paying attention during that set, but I'm going to pay attention in the next set, right? That's if you're coaching in person, obviously. If you're coaching remote, obviously the next time they do that exercise, they can pay attention and maybe make a little note in your programming, like, let me know where you feel this. I do that quite a lot when it comes to new exercises and things like that with my remote clients. Let me know where you feel this. And then if I didn't have it written in the notes, I also won't hesitate to ask, just to make sure that is actually what's happening. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this episode, on the shorter side, but hopefully it was a helpful message for you. And whether you are somebody who just is an active person who works out, or you're a coach, I hope you got value from this episode and learned something that you can start to implement if you were not already doing this type of thing. So if you listen to this, got value from it, would love for you to share this episode with one of your friends, somebody who you think could get value from this. Subscribe to the podcast. And then if you want access to my latest freebie, the DIY mini movement audit, the link for that will be in the description. That is where I walk you through how to DIY 3 lower body mobility screens. And if you're somebody who is a coach who coaches clients who deal with lower body limitations or pain, or if you're somebody yourself dealing with a lower body limitation or pain, this freebie is for you. You will get value from it. We'd love for you to download it. So info for that will be in the description, but I appreciate you for listening here. I will talk to you next week.